Oil does cause significant harm to the planet. Its extraction, processing, and use have many negative consequences for the environment. Here are the main ways in which oil affects the environment and climate. 1. Pollution of the atmosphere. Carbon dioxide emissions. When oil is burned, for example in cars, power plants, or industry, huge amounts of carbon dioxide are released. This gas is the main greenhouse gas that contributes to global warming. Oil is one of the main sources of CO2, along with coal and gas. Other harmful emissions, in addition to carbon dioxide, burning oil also produces nitrogen oxides, NOx, sulfur compounds, toxic organic substances, and particles. These substances pollute the atmosphere and harm human health, causing respiratory diseases and cardiovascular diseases. Two, oil spills, marine spills. One of the most devastating effects of oil on ecosystems is its release into the oceans. Oil spills, such as those from oil rig accidents or tanker leaks, cause enormous damage to marine ecosystems. Oil covers the surface of the water, depriving it of oxygen, which leads to the death of fish, seabirds, and mammals. Coral reefs and other important ecosystems are also damaged by oil spills. Pollution of soil and water bodies. Oil spills on land can pollute soil and water resources, making them unsuitable for agriculture and drinking. It can also cause long-term environmental impacts on flora and fauna. 3. Impact on biodiversity. Destruction of ecosystems. Oil extraction often requires intervention in natural landscapes, including deforestation, construction of drilling platforms, creation of infrastructure for oil transportation, pipelines, roads. This destroys natural ecosystem, threatens animals and plants, especially in vulnerable places such as tropical forests and Arctic regions. Loss of biodiversity. The oil industry can cause entire ecosystems, such as wetlands or mangroves, to disappear, which in turn affects biodiversity. In addition, ecosystems damaged by oil spills or pollution recover very slowly and in some cases never recover at all. 4. Climate degradation. Greenhouse effect and global warming. Oil, like other fossil fuels, is a major source of greenhouse gas emissions, such as carbon dioxide, CO2, and methane, CH4. These gases trap heat in the atmosphere, causing global warming, which leads to atmosphere, melting glaciers and rising sea levels, an increase in extreme weather events, hurricanes, droughts, floods, changes in ecosystems that could threaten the survival of many species of animals and plants. 5. Water pollution. Reagents and chemicals. The process of refining oil and natural gas uses various chemicals that can end up in rivers, lakes, and seas, harming not only aquatic ecosystems, but also human health if the water is used for drinking. 6. Pollution of soil and human health. Toxics in the soil. Oil production leaves behind huge environmental footprints, such as contaminated sites like oil sludge ponds. These contaminants remain in the soil for decades or even centuries, poisoning the land and water. Impact on humans. In areas with active oil production, pollution, diseases such as cancer, respiratory diseases, cardiovascular diseases, and toxic poisoning are on the rise. 7. Oil dependence and sustainability issues. Fossil reliance, oil dependence, limits the ability to transition to more sustainable energy sources, slowing progress on climate change and keeping the world in a carbon economy. Crises and conflicts. Geopolitical conflicts often flare up over control of oil resources, which can lead to wars, migrations, and social instability, as well as exacerbate environmental problems in the regions where such conflicts occur. When oil finally runs out, the world will face a number of major changes. The decline in oil reserves will affect many areas of life, and the consequences will depend on how humanity prepares for this process. Here are some key aspects that may change. On the bright side, when oil runs out or becomes hard to come by, it could be a turning point for humanity, opening up new opportunities to create a more sustainable, cleaner, and more innovative world. Here are some reasons why the future could look much better after the oil era ends. 1. Transition to environmentally friendly energy sources. Renewable energy sources, solar, wind, water, geothermal energy, will become the main sources of power for the planet. With the end of the oil era, the world will be forced to switch to sustainable and environmentally friendly energy sources, which will lead to a significant reduction in greenhouse gas emissions. This will help combat climate change by improving air quality and slowing global warming. 2. Technologies replacing oil. Electric vehicles will replace cars with internal combustion engines, which will not only reduce oil consumption, but also improve air quality in cities by reducing pollution. Energy-efficient buildings and smart cities. More efficient technologies will be developed for buildings that use minimal amounts of energy. Energy from renewable sources will be used with maximum efficiency through intelligent control systems. Hydrogen energy and other new technologies could become important energy sources for transport and industry. 3. Innovations in materials processing. Plant-based plastics. With the transition from oil as a raw material for the chemical industry, bioplastics and biodegradable materials that do not pollute the planet will be developed. Sustainable materials. Materials created from recycled waste or with a minimal ecological footprint will be actively developed. For example, the use of natural fibers and organic materials in construction, clothing, and packaging. 4. Autonomous and distributed systems. With oil running out, interest in distributed energy systems will increase. Solar panels, wind turbines, mini hydroelectric power plants, and other local energy sources will be used in homes and businesses. Smart cities will also develop. In such cities, energy sources will be integrated into everyday life through smart networks and the Internet of Things, which will significantly reduce resource consumption and improve the quality of life. 5. Transition to sustainable agriculture. As oil reserves deplete, there will be increasing demand for green and sustainable farming practices. This will include organic farming and permaculture will reduce reliance on chemical fertilizers and pesticides, creating healthier food. The development of hydroponics, aquaponics, and vertical farms will allow food to be grown in cities, reducing the need for transportation and lowering the carbon footprint. 6. Economic diversification and sustainable development. Countries that today rely on oil exports will be forced to invest in new industries, which could lead to more diverse and resilient economies. This will create new jobs in areas such as renewable energy, green technology, biotechnology, and sustainable agriculture. An innovative economy will be stimulated with a focus on future technologies such as artificial intelligence, robotics, and space technologies. 7. Reducing international conflicts. With the end of the oil era, when oil ceases to be a key factor in geopolitics, the number of conflicts related to the extraction and control of oil resources will decrease. This will open the way for greater cooperation between countries and the possibility of peaceful resolution of global problems. There will be an opportunity for global collective responsibility in addressing environmental and social challenges which can strengthen international relations and increase mutual trust. 8. New approaches to consumption. With the reduction of oil as a resource for production, people will begin to value the Earth's resources more, realizing the need to reduce consumption and waste. This will lead to the spread of the principles of a circular economy, where waste is recycled and reused. A culture of minimalism and conscious consumption is encouraged, which will contribute to a sustainable lifestyle and improved well-being on the planet. 9. Improving health and quality of life. Clean energy and reduced air pollution will lead to a reduction in pollution, diseases, respiratory diseases, cardiovascular diseases. Organic food and sustainable agriculture will improve nutrition and health, which will increase the length and quality of life of people. Instead of seeing oil depletion as a disaster, we can see it as an opportunity for global change for the better. How humanity adapts the changes is key. With a positive approach, support for innovation, and global cooperation, we can create a future in which the planet's resources are used sustainably and the ecology and economy develop in harmony. So, we are waiting.